extended water fast. And if you're watching this uh, live stream in real time, or if you found it after the fact, you're probably curious about fasting. You might be fasting yourself. You might know people who are fasting. You might have heard a lot of the news on intermittent fasting, that sort of thing. So I'm going to share with you some of my experience, but because we have people on the live stream who might be new to the concept, I'm going to start with some basics. If you listen to the end, I will share with you the hardest part I've found on fasting. So again, I'm on day 38, and what I do personally is I sometimes will come out to the beach here on Saipan. It helps pass the time. One of the worst things that I can do is stay at home, especially if there's food in the house, because that might present a temptation. But right now I have some water with a teaspoon of chlorophyll in it, and I'll drink that. It's a little far away from me right now to get it, but I'll show it to you later. All right, so why do we fast? We fast because, contrary to what you may have been led to believe, the body is coded to heal. And that's one of the major tenets of the ageless adept philosophy, is that the body is coded to heal. Nature is constructed in such a way, or has evolved in such a way, that the human body, left to its own devices, can and does heal itself. The reason why more of us are not experiencing that good health has nothing to do with our DNA and our genes. It simply has to do with the fact that we have not allowed the body the time and the circumstances to effect that healing. And what I mean by that is, if you are getting up in the morning and you eat, and then 4 hours later you eat again lunch, and then 4 or 5 hours later you eat dinner, and then 4 or 5 hours later you have a snack, and then you go to bed, and then you get up and you do it all over again. You're essentially keeping your body in a certain mode. And again, I'm not a physician, so what I'm doing is explaining it to you in ways that if it makes sense to you, you can use this as a metaphor, use it as a way of understanding how the body works. But your body has basically two modes, and one is its assimilation, that's digesting and processing the food into the system, and the other is elimination and detox. And if you are constantly in assimilation mode, if you are constantly eating and eating and eating, then you never give the body a chance to rest, switch into detox mode, cleansing mode, healing mode, and do its thing and activate its healing code. So you end up being in a constant state. Your body is constantly overworked, and you never actually get to a point where you heal. So we fast so that we can allow the body the time to rest and to shift into healing and detox mode, so that it can heal itself. So that's the short version, and there'll be hundreds of questions that people have along the way, and I'll do other live streams in the future to address those. But that's the essentials of it. You might also have found about my channel through one of my more popular books. It's a book that I've published called Fast and Grow Young, which is actually a republication of a public domain work by Herbert Shelton, but very popular. And if you're not familiar with the fasting concept, then this does a good job of explaining, the hundreds and thousands of year history, explaining how it's the default healing mode in the animal kingdom, explaining hundreds and thousands of experiments and research that have shown exactly what happens to the body when you give it time to relax and shift into healing mode. And if you go to my website, Fast and Grow Young, you'll see a PDF that you can download that says what happens to your body during an extended water fast. The amazing therapeutic and rejuvenative processes that take place once you allow the body to take a rest from digestion and activate its healing code. And this is free. You can download it at fastandgrowyoung.com. And there are 5 stages that the body will go through. Stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see here for yourself some of the amazing things that happen as your body goes deeper and deeper into the fast. Very fascinating. I've done many fasts over the years, and I can attest to the fact that just like clockwork, that when I hit day 3 to 7, certain things start happening. The skin may become oily with pimples or boils as rancid oils are purged from the body. Hunger persists, but this desire to eat will disappear and can last 40 to 60 days. And that's where I am right now. I'm in day 38, and there is no desire to eat. Sometimes I feel a desire to, crunch something in my mouth, but there's no hunger. There's no hunger pangs. So it's a very fascinating thing to learn about your body by doing fasting. Not only do you learn about how the body works, but you also are able to hone your character. You wean yourself from a dependency on habit, on a dependency on food, doing what everybody else does. It's 12 o'clock, so I gotta eat. It's 5 o'clock, so I gotta eat. So you realize that you have control over your body. You have control over your habits, and you even have control over your desires. And you can suppress those. Just because you're hungry doesn't mean you have to eat. And again, if you're new to this, some of what I'm saying is going to sound really out of this world to you. But for those of us who are fast fanatics, then some of the stuff that I'm sharing is, just second nature by now. So I wanted to do some more content for the Ask a Vegan and Ageless Adept channels, because I've been focusing a lot more on the Saipan, my Discover Saipan channel, and I'd encourage you to, if you want to see my lifestyle as I do my best to live a natural life in this unnatural world. You can see how I go about doing some of that here on Saipan by subscribing to the Discover Saipan channel. Now, what I find is the hardest part of fasting is not going without food. The hardest part of fasting is not missing the taste of food. It's not going without food. It's not feeling hungry, because those feelings of hunger disappear after, I would say, usually the 3rd or 4th day. You get into a zone where you're actually not hungry anymore, and you realize that you have energy, you have vitality. As your body releases the obstructions, you'll find that you have more energy than if you are eating. Now that may sound counterintuitive, because a lot of people believe that they need to eat in order to have energy. But if you check out another one of my books called A Clean Cell Never Dies, you will also learn about a formula that I discovered reading Arnold Ehret's Mucusless Diet and Healing System. And it basically says that vitality equals potential power minus obstruction. Your vitality, your vigor, your vim is a function of your potential power that you have in your muscles and in your system, minus the amount of obstruction that you have. So if you have a lot of obstruction in your colon, a lot of obstruction in your arteries, then your vitality is going to decrease. But if you simply remove the obstructions, you'll find that your vitality increases. So you can check out the book, and the formula is there, so it'll make more sense once you see it visually. But your vitality is a function of your potential power minus your obstruction. The more obstruction you have is that you're subtracting from P, so it's V equals P minus O. The greater that O is the less the more you'll be subtracting from P, and the less that your V will be, if that makes sense. So I find that it's not the deprivation that is the hardest part of fasting. So here's the answer. The hardest part of fasting for me is actually knowing when to stop, is actually stopping. Because once you get to a point where you are not hungry anymore, right, then you can go 38 days, 39 days, and you start to see some of the benefits actually happening. And there's a desire, at least on my part, there's a desire to not want to give that up. So if I've reached day 30 and beyond, stage 5, and I realize that what's in store for me in stage 5 is that the eyes become bright, eyesight improves, which is something that I'm working towards, the whiteness of the eyes. Body temperature returns and remains normal, the pulse becomes normal in time and rhythm. Once you realize and start to experience some of the benefits of the later stages of fasting, you realize that you cannot get to those later stages without having gone through stages 1, 2, 3, and 4. So after you've devoted 25, 26, 27 days to get to that point, one of the most potentially disappointing things is to give it up before you've reached nirvana. One of the most challenging things is saying to myself, okay, should I stop now, or can I get some more benefits if I continue? I'm at 38 days. Should I go to 40 and make it a nice round number? I don't feel hungry. Each day I get up, I'm feeling more energetic. My eyesight is sharper. Let me just do one more day so that I can experience, the full benefit. So I find that the hardest part of fasting, once I get past a certain stage, is actually giving up the benefits, or giving up the potential future benefits by ending it too soon. So if you've experienced that as well, let me know. But that happens at any stage. Whether if you're at day 4 and you feel like giving it up, you've just devoted and invested 4 days into your fast, and if you stop, basically you have to restart. You can't get to the day 5 benefit unless you go through day 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you stop, you lose all of that. It's like digging a tunnel, and you go as deep as you can down into the tunnel, and you stop, and then you go back up, but the tunnel closes up behind you. So if you want to go back down, you can't just pick up where you left off. You have to start digging again. So that to me is the most challenging part of fasting, is being reluctant to give up the benefits that I have accrued and the depth into the tunnel that I've achieved by ending it too soon. So hope that's helpful. I will do more live streams as my time permits to help you. But if you have any questions, leave your questions in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them quickly. The live streams are the easiest way to do that, so I don't have to worry about editing videos and uploading, that sort of thing. So leave questions. I'll also put some answers in the community tab on the Ask a Vegan site. And I'll ask one big favor. I will ask that you go to AGELESS.com/blog and sign up to my mailing list. And the reason I say that is I'm an optimist by nature. However, if things go as planned and we reach more people with this quote alternative way of thinking, there is a possibility that at any moment our connection, on whatever channel you're watching this on, might be severed. And because I'm on someone else's platform, whether it's YouTube or Rumble or whoever else, then I don't know who you are. I don't have a direct connection to you. But if at some point I want to connect with you, then having your direct email address will be the best way. So if you value this information, if you'd like to keep a connection between us outside of YouTube or wherever else, this is being aired, then please sign up at agelessadept.com/blog so that we can maintain that connection. So with that said, happy fasting to you. Thanks for hanging around this long, and I will see you in the next video.